Hello YouTube, welcome to Curious Me channel. This is Shabazz Khan, and in this video we'll be talking about setting up entity framework in Microsoft Visual Studio. So let's start. This is my SQL server, and in this server I have a database named my database, and inside that database, which is named my database, I have a table contestant, and the design of that table is it has an ID, name, and talent. So ID is nothing but a primary key, which is an auto incremented field with a difference of 1. Now name and talent, they both are varchars. Let's open Microsoft Visual Studio, create a new project, ASP.NET Web Application. Name it sample. No, sample is not. Entity framework app. Yeah, it will be empty. Okay. Creating project EF app. Okay, now let's go ahead and add a new folder and name it entity. Here we will add our model. So let's go ahead and type ado.net data model. Yep, and I will call it my model and EF designer from database. Now this is already selected because I have used it quite a few times. You can always select like this, name of your server. Authentication, you can do SQL Server authentication or Windows authentication. Basically what SQL Server authentication does is you have to enter this username and password. What do you use for this server? Okay, currently I don't have any, so I'll use Windows authentication. Now when you have selected this server, it will automatically bring out all the database into this drop down. So when you click on this drop down, you will see all the database names. Mine was my database. I'll click on my database. I'll click OK. Now this will generate this connection string, and this string will be placed into your web.config file as this, okay, key. So I'll click next, and I'll say entity framework 6 point anything. Okay, pluralize, I'll say no. What pluralize will do is it will pluralize the name of my tables. For example, contestant will become contestants, entity will become entities, and so on. So my model namespace will be my database model, and I'll leave it to that. And I'll click finish, and it will do all its jiggle wiggle. Okay, it will throw a few warnings, and all you have to do is click OK. Nothing else. Just click OK. Don't have to read it also. Just click OK. OK. Yeah, OK. Okay. Now it has created the model. This is the model, which is very similar to this. Okay, so now I have my model, and any changes that I do to this model will be reflected back to my original database. So that's why we use entity framework, right? We don't want to write any SQL code. We just do it as we do it in a program, and entity framework takes care of it. It's a very handy tool actually. Now here you can see this is the model which we can push. This model looks very similar to this design, right? It has an ID, name, and a talent. Okay, so let's leave at that. Now for testing this model, let's go ahead and add a new web form, name that web form home, and click OK. Now go to the code behind of this. Now let us quickly reference our what was the namespace. Let me go ahead and check. The namespace of this is EF app entity, so I'll use that, EF app dot entity. All right, uh, let's go ahead and using my database entities context equals to new my database entities. All right, now I'll use that context dot, this will give me the table. Now see what this my database entities is. It is now click on this and press F12. All right, oh sorry, F12. Now this is the class that inherits from VBContext. Okay, now this VBContext is what is, you can say, is this VBContext is, you can say, is the virtual form of our database that is created. So you to access my table, which is this one, I can just create an object of that class, and then I can simply select the table and add. What does it take? It takes contestant model. That's why we uh, use this namespace right here. So what I'll do is I'll say new contestant, and see, ID is already auto generated, so I do not need that. Name equals to Shabazz, and talent is I don't know, eat a lot. And when I mean a lot, it means a lot. So I think that's it. Okay, now it will add, but it will not do any changes until and unless I'll say context.save changes. So once I'll run, once you push this, save the changes. Now let's just quickly go ahead and check whether there is any value present in that inside this table or not. So let's go ahead and select all from contestant, press F5, so you'll see that there's nothing. Now let's go ahead and build this. Control Shift B, it will build this app. Since I have bound this all these changes to the page load event, so the moment, okay, let me go ahead and just let it run. So the moment this will stop rotating is the moment that values will get added. Why? Because I am doing all the changes in the page load event. So once the page is loaded, these values have been already pushed into my database. All right, so let's go ahead and see whether, yeah, it has stopped moving. That means I have added my value into my database. So let's go ahead and check this, whether this is true or not. Yes, it is true. So Shabazz eats a lot. All right, you can let me just confirm it now. Instead of writing just Shabazz, okay, changes are not allowed. Let me stop it. It will say something something, and I'll say okay. All right. Okay, let me just confirm it. And eat, instead of eat a lot, let's go and say disco dancer. So Control Shift build. Let's wait for a while. Okay, now it's built. Click. Okay, it will open. So remember, as soon as this page will get loaded, my values will get pushed into my database. All right. Okay, so it's done, and I think it should be here. Press execute. Yeah, here it is. So that's it, guys. I have tried to keep this video as simple as I can. So if you guys like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this. And thank you, guys. Have a really nice day. Peace.